Okay, main event time. Kai Kara France taking on Amir Albazi, a big time flyweight bout. Kai Kara France, don't blink, by the way, is his nickname. 30 years old, fighting out of Auckland, New Zealand. 24-10 with one no contest. 11 knockouts, 3 subs added to that. Looking to get back in the win column after losing to Brandon Moreno back in July of 2022. Standing across from Amir, the Prince Albazi, fighting out of Baghdad, Iraq. The 29-year-old he is. 16-1 as a pro with 9 subs, add 5 knockouts to that. He is on a 5-fight win streak as a professional, 4-0 in the UFC, most recently knocking out Alessandro Costa back in December. Mark, lead us off one more time. Give us your take and your pick.
All right, we have a dead pick'em for the main event. Both
Good.
guys are minus 110.
Wow.
Pretty much the same size. Albazi's 1 inch taller. He has a 1.5 inch reach advantage. And he has looked legitimately fantastic through 4 fights in the UFC. He has looked good everywhere the fight goes. He's got a clear decision win. He's got a knockout win. He's got 2 sub wins. He's been great. But the level of competition has not been Kai Kara France. And Kai Kara France is very good and arguably still getting better. So it's hard for me to pull the trigger on Albazi as good as he has looked. It's another one of these bookings where it's like a guy kind of skipped a step. I wish I could have seen him against someone who's a little more in between who he has fought and Kara France. But as well-rounded as he is, Kai is a guy who went strike for strike with Brandon Moreno and who stuffed the takedowns of Askar Askarov. I don't think Amir Albazi is that good that he could succeed where those guys could not. Maybe he is, and we're going to learn that. But I think beating Kai at this point is a very big ask, and I'm going to say Kai turns him back.
Ooh.
Plus, Kai will be pressuring. He always is, which will be an adjustment for Albazi because he's usually the one doing the pressuring. So we'll see how he reacts to that or if he can force Kai to be the one backing up. But it's 5 rounds. Kai has time to work. It's very hard to get Kai out of there. He'll have time to get comfortable, to get his timing down, and I think he can eventually catch Amir Albazi. So I will say a 4th round TKO for Kai Kara France.
Wow. Omar.
Yeah, like I don't hate it, man. And I think the one thing that I keep thinking about too is the camp that that Albazi comes out of in Extreme Couture, and you would think they would have a lot better wrestlers there in general, but that doesn't really seem to be the case. And like we talked about, man, Askar Askarov is a motherfucker, especially when it comes to the ground game and taking people down and controlling and that kind of grindy pace. And Kai Kara France handled him. And it is very difficult to think that Albazi is going to come with something that is different than what Kai Kara France, or better, I should say, better than what Kai Kara France has already been able to deal with. So I think Kai Kara France is such a good fighter. I think he's extremely well-rounded, and I think his ability to keep the fight where he needs it to be, I think makes him an extremely dangerous opponent. He's only lost to Moreno and to Royval in his UFC career. That should say everything right there. He has fought Cody Garbrandt. He's knocked out Cody Garbrandt. He's fought Askar Askarov. He's fought Rogerio Bontorin. He has fought guys that I think have had real value to their name. And I think this one realistically will be one that Albazi will learn from. And I think it's just Kai Kara France's time to kind of reign at the top for a little while. Obviously, probably not as champion, but kind of being the Joe B right now of the division. So I'm going to go with Kai Kara France here by unanimous decision.
Wow. I'm going to go with Amir Albazi here.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the guy who has such a tremendous record with 10 defeats on his record. That gives me a little pause for Kara France, although he is getting better and better and better. And I will certainly be rooting for Kai Kara France. But I'm going to roll with Albazi. I think Albazi gets a rare decision win on his record. He has an 87% finish rate, but I think he's going to not find the finish against a very tough Kara France, and he's going to get his hand raised in a decision win. And that does it, boys and girls,
Very nice. Very
for
nice.
our preview